Hi, I'm Pastor Tony, Senior Pastor of Refuge Community Church. It's the place that people of God call home because, as you know, there's no place like home. This is another Pastors on the Go segment, and like I say, you never know where I'll be, where I'll show up, or who I'm actually going to be talking to as a guest today. We have something very unique, a very special, unique business, and I want to introduce you to LaDonna.
Thank you.
And I want to say it's really great for you to take time out to actually be here and meet with us. But we've connected on Facebook, and I follow a lot of the things you've done and some of the actual things that you're getting ready to launch. But just share a little bit about what you do and what's getting ready to happen.
Okay, I actually own a company, Energy Industry Support, and we do staffing, training, and sourcing and events for the oil and gas industry, primarily for the support professionals like IT, HR, operations, accounting, administrative, finance. And then I also own an organization called Oil and Gas Admins International, and it's specifically for the administrative professionals in the oil and gas industry. And it's a trade organization for them to do global networking and career development and personal development. And it's really exciting because we are launching a certification program that's going to launch this Friday.
Yeah, and that's something that I thought was really unique is, I saw that this program is actually going to make history.
That's right.
And I said, well, how can a certification program make history? Share us about that.
Okay, well, first of all, Oil and Gas Admins is the very first trade organization for administrative professionals.
Oil and Gas Admins, okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, and so there's never been a certification specifically for administrative professionals in the oil and gas industry, so this is the very first one.
Okay.
And we're launching it here in Houston, but it will be global, so very excited about that. The very first of its kind ever.
Okay. It's an Oil and Gas Admin. Explain the position of that administrative system. So there may be some people that are kind of wondering, what does that mean? Okay.
Well, the oil and gas admins, our membership is typically for people that are in the oil and gas industry or in the energy industry. So that would be like the Chevrons, Exxons, but not just the larger corporations, also the Marathons, even the service companies like Schlumberger and Wild Well Control, those types of things.
I know all those. I know all those.
So, yeah, primarily it's for the assistants in those organizations, but it's also for people that want to get into the organization. So, say you're an administrative assistant and you've got 20 years experience, but you can't get into the oil industry because you don't know anything about it. The certification is actually going to help you learn about the industry so that you can say, okay, I don't necessarily have the oil and gas experience, but I've taken the certification, and this proves that I understand the culture and about the industry itself.
So yeah, this is basically, it's not basically, but it's an industry-specific certification.
That's absolutely correct, yes. Specific to the oil and gas industry, yes.
Okay. Now, what is the journey that you traveled to kind of lead you into wanting to take this leap of faith, if you will?
Okay.
To start this, because it's definitely a leap of faith.
It was definitely a leap of faith. I have been in the oil and gas industry for over 21 years and started myself as a support professional for Enron, and that was a leap of faith because someone gave me that opportunity. And while I was there, being naive, I just kind of applied for everything and ended up getting into supervisory positions, and before you knew it, I had gone up into a supervisory role and left there. Of course, everybody left Enron because they told us we had to.
yeah, I remember that. That was wow. I was out, like I said, at that time I was actually driving for Metro, and I was actually driving a park and ride bus, and I remember people coming out of the building with boxes, getting in cars and actually getting on my bus and actually having to transport them back to their respective areas. I actually remember that day.
Yes, and I was in my car, like I said, 15 minutes before everybody else left because I didn't want to be in the building if it blew up. So
I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
That's another story.
But after that, I went to work for Reliant for a short period of time, and then I worked for Chevron for 11 years. Kind of starting out the same thing, but then getting opportunities to do a whole lot more things for that company, starting some new programs and new departments, and getting a chance to work with some of the very high-level management. But at the end of the day, I realized that I kind of reached my tipping point, the top of
turning point.
Exactly.
Sunday sermon, turning point.
And for me, I just said, I want to do something more. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, and and I finally realized that God had kind of placed me in a position all my career to do what I wanted to do, and that was start a company that specifically targeted the administrative and support professionals of the oil and gas industry. So, you know, on a day and having my conversation with God, I said, okay, this is it, and I jumped.
Wow. You know, one of the things you said that, you know, you jumped, but you know the Lord was going to catch you.
Absolutely. I would not have jumped without having that conversation with him. And I'll tell you, before I jumped, the company came and said, you don't have to quit. We'll just let you take a leave.
Really? Okay.
And I said, they had not offered that to me before. This was kind of literally 2 days before I was going to leave, and I instantly recognized that was not God. That was the devil coming at me saying,
That's good.
Then, you know, so God said, that is not what I said. I said for you to quit, not take a leave. And so I did. I quit.
Wow. That was a leap of faith, and it was good discernment to be able to recognize that diversion, that tactic of the enemy. That was really good. You know, one of the things I've noticed from our conversation is that you are a woman of faith, and you have I guess a legacy of faith, you know, from your parents.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yes.
And I know that you actually or have a legacy building program, as a matter of fact.
That's correct.
Share us a little bit about that.
And like I said with you before, everything that has happened to me has been through faith and opportunity. That's a big thing. The word opportunity is something I always say, because without the opportunity, you really can't do much. I mean, you can have all the wants and the need, but if someone doesn't give you an opportunity, or if you don't make an opportunity, then there's, you know, it's impossible. And what we want to do is to give people the opportunity to actually learn about being an administrative assistant in the oil and gas industry. Actually give them an opportunity to go and have internships with some of the companies. And then what we're hoping to do is actually change their legacy, because if you're making, you know, minimum wage, but if you start to become an administrative assistant in the oil and gas industry, your earning potential is going to be $45,000 to start most of the time. And, you know, you're going to get up to about $100,000 if you stay long enough, and that's with overtime and all that stuff. That's your earning potential. So you literally change your whole family's legacy. You know, now you get to go and get your degree, maybe if you don't have it, and most companies will pay at least 70% to 100% of your tuition. And now your kids are exposed to more things, and now you're getting to see different things, possibly travel. So you're changing your entire legacy, and that's what we want to do. That's what the program that we're going to actually launch before the end of this year.
Oh, okay. Wow, we're on track. That's a beautiful thing. You know, legacy is extremely important. And, you know, one of the things that I wondered about, you know, hearing about oil and gas, you know, we're constantly surrounded by things in the media about oil and gas, and we hear about gas prices doing this and this happening and what have you. Has what you do been affected by what we actually hear that's going on in the world with the oil and gas?
Well, I think anybody in the oil industry, when we see oil prices go down, it's not fun for us. Everybody's excited. It's $100.74 at the pump, and we're going, no, that's not a good thing.
We were thinking just the opposite.
I mean, it's fun to fill up for $20, but at the end of the day, when it's going to affect your well-being, and not just ours, but also the entertainment industry, the hotel industry, because it's pretty much a trickle-down effect.
I didn't think about that.
And so for me personally, there's been a little bit of a slowdown, of course, when we're talking about people registering for conferences and stuff like that. But like I told you, I have a big belief that everything will be fine, and we really haven't seen that big of a slowdown. So for me to say it really has affected us. So,
That's good. And one of the things I noticed when we spoke about, being affected by the trends that's going on there, you said that because of what's going out there, now is the time.
Absolutely.
For someone to pursue getting things together.
That's right. I mean, if you're looking, say you get laid off, you want what's going to differentiate you from someone else. It's going to be your education. It's going to be your experience. It's going to be your training. So definitely somebody in the oil and gas industry, the certification program kind of sets you apart from someone else, because it says, I am qualified to actually work for your company, and not just in one department, but I know about the entire industry. So that's something that sets you apart from someone else.
So in other words, when things look bad, it's actually time to prepare.
Absolutely.
It's almost like, here in Houston, we're always looking at, storms and hurricanes and all that stuff. And when we see the what's going on in the news, that's when people start getting ready.
Right.
For the storm before the storm actually comes.
Absolutely. Yes.
And one of the things I want to do is just take a moment now and just there's people here that are going to see this video and they're going to connect with a lot of things that you've said, but there's some people that actually need hope. Is there something that you can actually share or something that's on your heart that you want to impart or impress with those that are connecting with you today?
I think if I had to say anything, one of the biggest things I would say is stay encouraged. That's number one.
Okay.
Have faith, because at the end of the day, like we said, it takes one person
one person
to change your entire life. I mean, that one person could open up a door for you that you never had opened before. Could make a connection that you never had before. But it all starts with faith, because if you don't believe it's going to happen, most likely it's not going to. I'm a big believer in stepping out on faith and knowing that God's going to have you one way or another.
Amen.
But you got to believe it. You can't just do it without believing it. So I think that's one thing I try to always encourage people to do is first recognize that you're not by yourself. There are people out there to help you. And if you recognize that and believe that God's going to put someone in your path to help you and that you're going to actively pursue it, then it will happen. It absolutely will happen.
Amen. That's really good. How can people, when they see this video, they want to get in contact with you, reach you, connect, and with what you're doing? What kind of information could you share with them that they can actually reach your contact, listen to your services? Okay,
well, you can reach me at energyindustrysupport.com. Our contact information is there, and also oilandgasadmins.com.
Okay.
Or you can reach me personally at LaDonna at oilandgasadmins.com. So I'm available. I work 7 days a week, just about. And,
wow.
We've got a lot going on, and I just thank God for the blessings and hope to keep being blessed.
And conferences coming up as well.
That's
and all
right.
that
Conference
too.
in June.
In Calgary, correct?
In Calgary in September, yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. Well, you've heard it here. This is Pastor Tony, Senior Pastor of Refuge Community Church. Here with LaDonna. And it's just been a wonderful opportunity. One thing I gathered from this, from listening to you, is to stay faithful. Believe that it can happen, and stay faithful, and jump, and know that God is going to catch you. This is Pastor Tony, Senior Pastor of Refuge Community Church. Remember, this is a place that people of God call home, because there's no place like home. God bless.